Beautiful people, it's your girl Tia Things back with another book review. So here we go. Today we're talking about The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's a book that is very interesting to me. It's not like a crazy yes, a crazy no. It's somewhere in the middle, so I can't wait to dive into that. It's a book that I've been recommended so many times. You guys have requested this review on my Instagram so many times. I think because you know it's not going to be a black and white one. And I was actually lent this book a year ago. Yeah, it's the longest book to ever be on my TBR without context. So basically what happened, I'll give you guys a little story time. My best friend and I swap books all the time, and she gave me this book, said you have to read it, it's amazing. Great. I took the book, started reading, and it was one of those days where I just wasn't really in the mood to read. I wasn't really there. And I started reading and it was so slow. So I said, you know what? Forget it. It's not gonna happen today. Move on. Put a movie on or whatever else. That was about a year ago. Yeah. So a couple months ago, basically, I think in February, I said, I'm reading it this month. I didn't. March came and I said, I'm reading it this month, and I did. So I sat down, there was a rainy day, sat down, blanket, got all cozy in my spot over here, and restarted the book from start, finished it, all done. I did it, I read it, yay. So I can finally talk to you guys about it. I have seen so many TikToks of people raving about the book. I've seen TikToks about people not so much raving about the book. The author is phenomenal. And I just want to say, number one, like first things before we dive into anything else, the number one thing about this book that I loved and that stood out so much to me compared to all the books I read is the character development. Like, this book is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, right? It's 7 husbands being introduced and those marriages being discussed and their highs and their lows and the story of each one. Obviously, not necessarily in like deep dive, but you're getting a full picture. And I never felt rushed or like they were trying to cram something in or they were just flying over. Each one of the husbands I felt like was so amazingly written and developed. And when you have that many characters developed to such an extensive, like, it was unreal. I really have to say that was one of the biggest standout things. And that's also one of the reasons why they are making the book a movie, I believe, movie or series. But I think it's a movie, and that's one of the things I'm so excited for, is to see how they develop the characters in a movie format, because she wrote them so well. You knew, you understood, like you really got a grasp for their character, their looks, their vibes, everything that each husband had to offer to Evelyn and what she had to offer to them, and the whole relationship. So it's crazy that in just a few chapters on each husband, you felt so connected and devoted to the scenario. Really unreal, I have to say. The writing was like nothing else. The one thing that I will put in the cons, I guess, category, is that it was very slow for me. I like books that really keep you going, or that lead to something big, or just that keep you really rolling with them constantly. And this was obviously a story with a lot of inner stories, if we can say that, right? Each flashback to each relationship. So there was a lot of content in it, but it wasn't like mind-boggling or like, oh my God, you have my attention the whole time. Like, it wasn't that attention grabbing. So it was a little slow for me. It was nice. It was almost like a fictional biography. I don't know if that's an actual genre, but that's how it felt. So I didn't dislike it. I obviously read the whole thing, so it wasn't too slow that it lost me, but it wasn't such a big attention grabber for me, for sure. The next major thing that I wanted to talk about was the ending. So we're skipping a little bit. And for me, the connection between Evelyn and the interviewer, the journalist, right, Monique, I think it was like made to be the plot twist, but it wasn't really. Like, I don't think anyone was really that shocked. Like, maybe you didn't see exactly that coming, but you knew there was some kind of connection. And then you were just like, oh, okay. For me, honestly, that part didn't really need to be there. I think they made it to connect the different eras all throughout the story, which I liked. There's a connection to everything. But it wasn't, this isn't a Verity ending mind blower. Like, it was just like, oh, okay, plot twist, but like a very small one. So if you're looking for a major plot twist, this book isn't it. It is very interesting though. And I do have to say, another thing that I really look forward to for the movie is all of the flashbacks and the different eras and the different characters, like I said, but the personalities and the costumes and the set. And I think that it's gonna be really, like, there are so many great opportunities for this on the visual aspect. And so I really think that that'll be great. For me, it was definitely very slow, amazingly developed characters, a good storyline. I'm devoted to Evelyn and I want to know like her life, and that all of that was great. It just was a little bit on the slower side for me, and a little bit on the, like, it just ends. It's nothing like I'm upset it's over, or oh my god, I hope there's a second one. It's just like, okay, that's the book. Next. So that's my review. I know I'm a little kind of in between because there are things I really loved and things that I kind of didn't like, but really that's kind of the best part about books, right? They can have so much in there that you can have different feelings as you're reading them. So that is my review for today, and we will be back soon with another book review. Stay tuned, follow, like, and subscribe.